great shot of a moray eel, right? Just imagine if there was an octopus close by. I mean really close by. Like I could literally bump into it. Talk about nerves of steel, and I'm not referring to me. I just about inked myself. Playa Piskadó, or Fisherman Beach in Papiamentu, quickly became one of our favorite dive sites on Curaçao's west side. A small local fishing fleet dots the surface of the expansive turquoise bay. The shore area reflects the fishing lifestyle. And you can see that underwater as well. The beach area has also established some more diverse business activities. Leslie bought this hat from a local vendor operating a small stand near the entrance. You can get soft drinks and a snack at the Happy Grandma, and there is a place where you can rent water sport equipment, chairs, and shade. The 100-foot pier is a great place to spot turtles, schools of fish, snorkelers, and I imagine whatever this was. All that supports a 350-foot shore that is larger than many neighboring beaches, which is why this site is also referred to as Playa Grande. The undeveloped landscape is quite beautiful too, and chickens and cats are pretty common. A quick sad note, but one I have to mention, is that we saw this discarded shark fin in the shallows on one of our dives. That said, everything else underwater was great. Like this banded clinging crab squeezing into the inflated body of a giant anemone, and the spotted cleaner shrimp waiting patiently on the side for it to open. All that next to a fat bearded fireworm. But if you've seen any of our other videos, this is the part where we ask for a very small favor. Subscribe, like, comment, and share. Any of these activities go a long way to helping our small channel grow. Thanks. Smiley face. Playa Piskadó is located on the northwest side of Curaçao. Unlike Aruba or Bonaire, which generally have a main road traversing the island, Curaçao has quite a few roads that get you to different parts of the island. So directions for Curaçao dive sites will start from the closest main road, which should be easily found on any car rental company provided or downloadable map. For Playa Piskadó, we will start heading northwest from Willemstad on Wagnar West Punt. Turn left on Caminda Monica Capel Matthew and follow that for 10 miles. The road changes names a few times, but eventually turns back into Wagnar West Punt. Shortly after you pass the hillside lagoon sign, Wagnar West Punt turns at the first right. Continue for 4.5 miles. In a tree-covered part of the road, turn left at the colorfully painted garden with the orange octopus tree. Proceed a few hundred feet and find a place to park. The parking lot is asphalt and can hold maybe 20 cars comfortably, but we have seen it get crowded. There really isn't any shady area to park under or set up your gear. Speaking of gear, come pre-assembled or use your car because there are no convenient tables or areas to help with that. There are showers behind the snack shop and a bathroom next to the restaurant. However, that is only open when the restaurant is open. Depending on where you park, the walk to the beach is between 100 and 250 feet. The shore has a lot of dead coral pieces, and the walk-in can be a bit rocky, so wearing thick-soled booties is recommended. This boat ramp may look like an inviting alternative, but steer clear. It gets covered with algae and can be very slippery. Alternatively, the water is deep enough at the end of the pier to do a giant stride, and it does have ladders to climb out. The reef starts approximately 150 feet from shore, so you can either surface swim and drop down, or drop down right away and swim underwater. We think the turtles and other creatures in the shallows make that decision pretty easy. This is an active harbor, so take appropriate care overhead while diving. As with many of the west side dive sites, the reef is almost due west. Head 260 degrees out and 80 degrees east back in. The only other distinct underwater navigation marker is an 8-foot statue of Neptune looking out over the reef. It sits in the middle of the bay at a depth of 25 feet where the drop-off begins, and looks simultaneously cool and scary with those tube sponges growing on the side of his head. The reef is a short swim out over a mostly sandy bay, although you will see occasional rocks and fishing boat moorings. The edge of the reef starts with grass, small coral heads, and sponges. It doesn't take long to get to the drop-off, which really shows the reef's variety of coral and sponges. Here's a bit of what the reef looks like at different depths. In addition to the reef and Neptune statue, be sure to check out a few other features of this fantastic dive site. The cliffs on the right side provide some interesting areas to explore. Large boulders are sprinkled along the bottom, and the water has carved out the base, creating dark recesses. You can pretty reliably see turtles here, and while they all have different personalities, some have no issues interacting with snorkelers or divers. We say this for just about every dive, but seriously, check out the shallows. We saw this shame-faced heart crab just walking in the sand in about 7 feet of water. We also saw this silverside bait ball being pursued by some barjacks, and this school of big-eye scads. Not enough? How about this pod of squid? Did we mention the shallows are nice? There is a lot of sea life at Playa Piskadó, so let's jump in and see what it looks like. Of course, we also went on a night dive, and it was awesome. There are even a few lights to make packing equipment a bit easier. You see so many different animals at night. Here are some of the fascinating things we saw after sundown, and you might too. Enjoy!